Hello everyone, it's Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos using products that are new to me, or just need a little bit more love in my collection. Today we're going to keep using my new products from the Chanel Camélia Futura collection. We're going to use a few new combinations and check out these colors a little more. So if you're interested in seeing more about this collection, please keep watching. So I did prep my face a little bit today. It is feeling a lot better than it was. If you know my saga, I'm not going to bore you with it, but I feel like even without makeup, I would have gone out today and felt really confident about myself. So I do have my skincare and my sunscreen on as per usual. And I do have a few dots of the ABH Magic Touch concealer on, just the bare minimum underneath my eyes and around the red points on my mouth. I do have the Juvia's Place I Prep, I Prime, just one tiny little dot on each eye, and I do have the brows done with the Chanel Stylo Sourcils Haute Precision in Brun Clair. You can see I do have some redness on my neck. That's just life for me. I always have a little bit of redness from time to time on my neck, depending on the time of the month. So that's just part of my life, and honestly I'd rather have it down here than up here where it really itches. I'm feeling so much better and feeling a little bit more confident, so we're gonna see how putting a little bit more makeup, we're inching back up to putting a little bit more makeup on, and I've been having really good luck with taking it off. I still use water. I use a little bit of micellar and some eye makeup remover mainly, and that seems to be working really well for me. So we're going to go back into the Camélia Futura collection. I showed you the swatches last week and some comparisons. Today I'm going to use some more products in different ways and see how they work. I'm going to try a little bit of eyeliner today and see how that goes taking it off. So let's just get into it. I am going to use the new Stylo Ombré et Contour. This is the one in Mauve Chromé, number 62. So this is the more purpley one. I did use the green one, Vert Titanium, last week, and they're both really pretty, and it still has a nice tip on it. So you can see I've only used it I've used it a few times this week, but this is the first time I'm using it over an eye primer. I find that these crayons, there are some days when I can use them and I don't need a primer, but there are just some days where my lids are just too oily, and even just putting one or two swipes, it still just sort of gathers down here by mid-morning and you have to pat it back, and that's not really a big deal for me. I can do that, but I just like it to stay a little bit more, and I find an eye primer helps me with that. So let's just go in with this eye crayon. And it's just got a beautiful sparkle to it, very pale purple with like, it's a light gold, almost a white gold shift to it. It's very pretty and very light. Just a hint of color. And you guys know I love to build things up and make things very apparent and colorful on my face, but I feel like these are just kind of, I don't know if I'd call them subtle. I think they're subtle for someone like me who will not be afraid to wear a full purple eye, but I feel like it just gives you like that shift where if you look, it's purple, and if you kind of look over here, it's more of a white gold, light gold, and so it just really works for like a very neutral type of look. It's also very iridescent and very ethereal looking if you're looking really closely. We're gonna go in with one of my beloved Stylo Yeux waterproofs, the long-lasting eyeliner in Mauve Intense. This is from the spring summer collection, and this is the more purpley one. I'm just gonna do a real thin line. I'm not gonna tug on my eyelids a lot. I'm not gonna put a lot down because I have to take this off at the end of the day, and that's all part of the equation in deciding what makeup I want to use. I think that just makes a nice punch to that. We got Mauve Chromé and Mauve Intense. It just makes a nice little punch right along the lash line. I think you can see it a little bit better on this side. But they seem to go really, really well together. I really like that together. Just amps up the purple. Very, very pretty. That's why I love having these in my makeup collection, because you can just use them to amplify the color on your lids, where in my life I have hooded eyes, so even though you're not going to be seeing the full lid when I look directly at you, you will be seeing the eyeliners. That's why I love these so much. I will harp on that forever, because I really just love having a color option that you can see on my eyes. Since I've already done my base product with my concealer on the face, I'm just going to go right into my Noir Allure mascara. Just, again, the tiniest bit, because, again, I have to take it off at the end of the day. And I have been wearing this during the week, just a little bit, and it has not been a problem to remove. That, again, just gives a little bit more definition to my eyes, because otherwise my lashes are naturally very blonde and you just don't see them, which is not necessarily a problem. It's just not always the look that I'm going for, which I always call naked mole rat. There are times when I just don't need mascara, and there are times where I feel like it just helps the eye look a little bit. We're going to go into the Camélia Futura blush trio, and we're going to pick out one of the colors to use today. So here it is. Very pretty. This, I've been wearing the different colors in this all week, and mostly I think I've been wearing the peach shade, and I've been wearing the middle shade, the more pink shade, and they've both been really, really beautiful. Today I'm going to go back into that peach shade, and I'm just going to use the brush that came with, because it's thinner. You can get into the individual shades. I really haven't swatched, done a swirl swatch of this, just because I don't know that I really want to use it that way, and maybe I'll get to the point where this is faded enough where I just won't care. But for right now, I'd like to keep it a little bit pristine and just, you know, play with the different colors a little bit before I swirl them all together. I'm sure it looks beautiful, but that's not where I'm at. I'm just gonna put this on my face now. It's a really pretty peachy color. It's got a little bit of a bronzy tone to it, so it works nice just around the edges of my face. It's deep enough on my skin tone that I can see it in the mirror after a few hours. It fades like all blushes do, but it's still there at the end of the day. I can see it when I take my makeup off with some micellar water and a cotton pad. And this is pressed. It is coming up really nicely on these bristles, but the pattern of the Camélia hasn't really worn away much, which is nice. And I haven't seen, maybe it's a little bit shiny, but nothing like super hard pan. I haven't gotten to the point where I would feel like that's an issue. But yeah, it comes up really nicely. I think you can see that just gives some nice rosy color to the cheeks, peachy, bronzy, I don't know. It just, whatever mood my skin is in, it just gives a bit of pigmentation and color and definition to my skin. And today I'm going to use a bit of my Diamond Dust highlighter for just a little bit on the high points. And then just to do a little bit on the inner corner, I decided I want to use a bit of this, the white duochrome in the Utopia palette from the Camélia Futura collection. It's got that pinky purpley shift. So I'm just going to take a little bit and dot that here. And that'll just extend the purpley duochrominess out here with a little bit more brightness. And then we're going to try 2 of the Rouge Allure Laques together. I'm going to use my beloved Seashell from the Spring Summer collection from last year, and I'm going to add on top the new one in Avant-Gardiste from this Camélia Futura collection. And then I'm just going to dot some of this Avant-Gardiste on my hand and just use my finger to tap it in. And that just gives that little bit of sparkle on top of that more pigmented Seashell shade without mixing up the 2 formulas in the bottles. The iridescence on the eyes, it follows up on the lips, and then you have the matte look on the cheeks. So here's the finished look with hair down, jewelry on, and I put a little bit of gardenia from the L'Exclusives collection. I think I have about 5 or 6 of those tiny little sample bottles. I'm not mad about it. It's a beautiful scent. So I'll never have to purchase it because I have samples in droves. But that's the wonderful thing about being a Chanel customer, is that your sales associate starts to know you a little bit and, you know, provide you with the things that, you know, help you supplement your beauty routine. I'm sorry if that sounds super pretentious. It's just a nice perk of spending a lot of money on makeup. Anyway, do a little bit of the Hydra Beauty Essence Mist just to set everything down a little bit. Don't need a lot. This is a beautiful product. It is very expensive, but I love it. And I go through it like nothing. You can go through this in like a month if you're not careful. And I'm not careful, so yeah. I don't know if I pointed this out last week when I showed you this box. It doesn't really like mean anything, but it just kind of like is really cool. If you look at the colors on the Utopia box, they have, of course, the colors of all 4 shades on the ends of it. But if you look at the 2 sides with the camellias on, it actually, the one here that represents that beautiful purpley duochrome, it actually has a duochrome flip to it on the box as well, which I think is super cool. Just like one of those little extra things that they do. And I don't know, I just thought it was cool. And I can't wait to cut this box up and put it in my makeup journal, but I want to keep it intact for a little while before I do that. But it's very, very cool that they do those little extras with the packaging. I know it doesn't mean anything really, but I thought it was cool. So I hope you enjoyed seeing me do another look with the Camélia Futura collection, using products in my collection that go with the collection. My brain is just a mess today, but I am ready to go out and get my shopping done, go catch some sunshine on this beautiful day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any of those would be welcome. All of them would be deeply, deeply appreciated. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.